guys, we have a lot of people. This is their very first time coming to a comic convention, but they came here specifically to see you guys. Are excited? Give yourself a huge round of applause, guys. And we're excited to have you guys here. So is this, you guys have been here to Tampa before? You guys all been to Tampa before? This is your first time?
My first time.
First time?
I was here, and I was here a few years ago.
Nice.
Great to be back.
Welcome. It's a very beautiful city.
It is a beautiful city. Absolutely beautiful city.
And you're all beautiful.
Wait, what did you say about their moms? Oh, okay. That's where we thought we were going.
Well, we have a bunch of people here like to ask some questions to kind of get to know you a little bit better.
I like how this is an intimate gathering in a massive room.
Yeah.
It's nice. We could have done this like in a pub or something, but I'm glad you guys came to this massive room with us. I like the look of a bunch of empty chairs. It looks like victory.
These are all future fans.
That's right.
You all made it. Congratulations.
Isn't this one of the most haunted cities in the U.S.?
No way. Is it really?
So potentially those seats are not empty. Oh, St. Augustine, sorry. Okay. I got my Floridians. You know, there's hauntings here too.
I wanted to Florida's messed up.
Florida is messed up. Florida is like one of the most metropolitan and ecoid states in the world. Yeah, that's, you know what that means, right?
Yes, I've never heard of it before, but I like it. I like what you did.
It was a punk rock band with the rural contingent in my youth, the Hickoids. Yeah.
Well, we've been here like 2 minutes and I think you complimented their moms. We've talked about Florida.
Is this what you were talking about? The tangents?
So yeah. All right, so let's get the first question right over here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
You guys. So I know a lot of you guys had a lot of voices that you've done for the show, and obviously I want to know. What's up? I want to know what your favorite role was in other anime, because I know you guys also have a backlog of many. Like Kyle here, he's the voice of Kamina in Gurren Lagann, and then he's also Heathcliff in Sword Art Online. Yes, he was in Sword Art Online. And then Leia Clark here is Mavis in Fairy Tail. But also, she's one of my favorite cat girls, Blair in Soul Eater.
What?
She's a kitty with magical powers. So I want to know, what was your favorite voice acting role, other than, of course, doing My Hero Academia, of course?
So all time, right?
Yeah, like just like your all-time favorite or personal favorite that you've done aside from My Hero Academia.
All right. That's a good question.
It started with Gohan for me, so that's special for many reasons. It's the first time that I got to be doing voice acting professionally, and it's a show that I was already a fan of, and it's kind of led to everything else. I have a career, 22 years in, and then we're ready for Gohan to be
22? I'm only 20. Yeah.
Get a baby.
I know. I'm sure. Great. For me, it's a toss-up. My main character in Darker Than Black, Hay / the Black Reaper / BK201, the badass electrical-powered, leather-clad contractor by night, mild-mannered student by day. That was pretty badass. And the other one was actually with Leah Clark in Eden of the East. We were the co-leads. I was Akira Takizawa. She was... That's right. It's a lovely show, though. Honestly, I feel like it's the show that I've done that would lend itself most readily to being an excellent live-action miniseries. Really cool show. If you can find it, I highly recommend it. It's also the only anime that I've ever delivered a Scorsese reference in. I did the Talking to Me scene from Taxi Driver. It's my character in a New York City apartment in that anime. So those are my answers. End of answer.
One of mine is Miss Kobayashi from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. If you've seen that, this is one of my faves.
I haven't seen it, but I know about it.
You haven't seen it? Well, you have. Oh,
Have you seen Eden of the East?
What?
Have you seen Eden of the East?
Eden of the East.
No.
Okay. You
That
have
is a shame.
a lot of homework.
Most people watch Toonami because I watched My Hero Academia was on Toonami.
Oh, fair.
Copy that.
I thought
Some of the best stuff
And
is
Sword Art was on
on
Toonami a while ago too.
Is it me, or did I think you said Beauty and the Beast?
It does sound like you did. I said Beauty and the Beast. Of course you've seen that movie. Great film. balance.
Excellent dancing in that.
Awesome.
An amazing
It's
appliance.
your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, first, I just want to say how appreciative I am of the con doing the backdrop to match my outfit.
Oh,
So thoughtful of
We
them.
sent an email out, make sure we,
Baby, it's very, this place, it's like we're in some sort of future Havana.
Perhaps the Sunshine State?
Oh!
It's very citrusy.
Anyways, it's very hard to
I'm not
answer your
wearing my
question
clothes.
because I feel like you end up loving all of your roles and projects for different reasons at different times. But two that are really special to me of late, I was lucky enough to get to be in the remake of Fruits Basket. And it has become one of my top anime of all time as a result of being in it. I absolutely love that show. And also, perhaps a maybe lesser known one, if we have any Rooster Teeth fans out there, I was in a show called Camp Camp. I played Nikki, and still one of my favorite, I watch that show just as a fan. It wouldn't matter if I was in it. It's really funny. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out.
thank you so much.
Nice question. Thank you, sir. Tell them I said hello.
I always remember your first voice. I remember will always be Blair.
I want to know which character from My Hero Academia is your guys' favorite, not the one that you're playing of.
First, you gotta say your name. So
Oh, I'm Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
Hi, Shelby. How's it
Favorite
going?
Oh,
character that isn't us?
Yeah, from My
In My Hero.
Midnight. It is midnight. Is it midnight? No, it's not.
All Might, just because it's Chris Sabbath, I want to be Chris Sabbath on the road.
I'm gonna Suyu.
I like to say Minetta, just because I like the reaction.
That's the creeper, right?
Yeah, well, and also some of my favorite scenes of Midnight are with
Is
Minetta.
the creeper the one whose quirk is like sticky balls?
Yeah.
That's a great power, man. That's not a power I pick.
And also, I can't get over the fact that Brina plays Minetta.
Oh, yeah.
Brina is the sweetest, most mild-mannered, lady in the world.
Yeah, no, if you cross her, if you cross her, you're effed.
Busting out the minute.
Maybe.
Thank you, Shelby.
all right, our next
You
question.
look nice, Shelby.
Shelby.
Did the man manning the mic have a question? Is that what you said?
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, okay.
How did you find out about Mike?
Are you on the phone too?
No, they're videotaping her.
Oh,
Well, I have it pulled up too.
She has
Oh.
So, I guess I'm
Right now.
being assumptive.
there's a lot happening here.
How did you guys hear about My Hero before getting on the internet?
You have to say that very clearly because of your mask. That all we.
How did you hear about My Hero before getting on the anime?
How did you hear about getting on the anime?
Oh, auditioning for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
They sent us an email.
You're all
Yeah,
we're
we're
all
all
On the
regulars.
list, so they send those auditions out based on, what it's like, hey, here's a great character I think that so-and-so would be good for. And they send us the audition, and we record, the auditions from home, usually, and send it in. And if we don't hear back, we know it wasn't meant to be.
If we get hey, are you available from 2 to 6 on this day?
Then we got it.
And they don't tell us what character it is. We're like, okay, yeah, I guess I am. I auditioned for 14 characters. I guess we'll see
It's a
which
surprise.
It's
character.
a surprise, yeah, exactly.
Although I will say, I auditioned in that initial round, and I auditioned for a lot of the female characters, but I took one look at Midnight and I was like, well, if I get cast in this show, I know who I'm playing. And sure enough,
There she is.
You didn't actually say it in that voice, though.
I did not say it in that voice. I said it in this voice.
No, you didn't say it in that voice.
I know who I'm playing.
That's what she
Tonight.
said. Okay. There it is.
That's how she said it. Hi.
Hi, friends. That's how it happened.
So I think a lot of
Thank you. That was excellent.
I think a lot of people that are attending their very first comic convention. It's their first time. And I think a lot of them don't know that when you guys are recording your lines, I think a lot of them think you're all in the room together and you're reading the script together. Can you tell them a little bit what it's really like? Because they're not quite aware of how
Yeah.
it really is to record those lines.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, so unless you are a really big budget comedy cartoon like The Simpsons or Bob's Burgers, we don't usually get to record together. It's just us alone in a booth and the engineer and the director on the outside if you're recording on site, not remotely. And we basically have a bunch of screens in there, and if you are one of the first people to record, then you end up acting to silence and nothingness a lot. And if you're one later in the episode, then the other people will already be plugged in. But yeah, we go through and we get little beeps and previews, but yeah, it's a pretty solitary job normally.
Mostly line by line too.
Yep. Or sometimes you get to do like a run
Right.
of like, you know, a couple lines or something.
I like to do scenes,
Yeah.
entire scenes.
Do you?
I do.
You like making scenes?
Well,
That's what I heard.
that too. Not anymore. When I was a teenager. Fake medical incidents in the mall food court.
Right.
Yeah,
Tantrums and
yeah, it's so
whatnot.
stupid. Don't do that.
I wouldn't. But hey,
Yeah.
we're not here to boss your life. What do you want?
Indeed.
What's your name?
Hello, lovely.
Samantha, and
Samantha! Sorry. I met Samantha, so we have a thing.
So you came up with a jingle for her?
Sure.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
okay, so if Davi and Toga got into a fight, what would it be about?
What would it be about?
Energy usage.
Let's see.
Closing cabinets.
It'd be, it's too hot in here.
Oh, okay, yeah, it might be. It'd be about the temperature.
Yeah, it's
It'd be about the
temperature.
temperatures.
Like, listen, you gotta stop
Elizabeth and I almost have these arguments sometimes.
that. About the temperature?
Yep.
Feel that.
I run real hot, and she does not.
Oh, so you like it really cold?
I like it really cool.
And he likes a lot of wind.
And noise. I want a bunch of noise. I lived in New York City for a long time. When I left New York City, it was hard to sleep without, you know, traffic noise and crazy people screaming on the street below.
My husband
See you guys. Glad you could make it for a little bit. Till we meet again.
That was a metaphor. For life.
Good panel.
I have to say, I have a
What was the
question.
question? What's happening? What are we fighting about? The weather.
We're fighting about the temperature in the room.
Temperature in the room.
Not
yes.
the weather. We can't fight about the
It's
weather.
too
That's so
hot.
stupid.
And he thinks it's not.
It's not too hot. No.
Yeah.
It can't be too hot. Yeah.
When you guys get your script to do record for an episode, do you get like the whole series, like the whole season ahead of time, or is it just per episode? And does that make it difficult because you don't know what's coming down to how or not?
Yes, it does. But you kind of gotta react in real time to what's happening. I mean, now in the simul-dub era, we get a script at a time, and often the director doesn't even know the direction or if a character is going to be more significant or not. So, you know, it's a real flying by the seat of your pants. All right, react to what's happening. React to pick. Be honest. Be as natural as you can.
Yeah, it's like a big cold read. You're sent the script maybe ahead of time, if you're doing it at home or whatever. You go into the studio.
Do you read it ahead of time?
Different. No, I don't.
I don't even.
I prefer to just react naturally.
That's me too.
Same.
Yeah.
Go on the journey with the character.
You guys when you're recording, it's your first time reading a lot of times? Just,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
and a lot of times we aren't actually sent the script. Like they share it. Like if we're recording remotely, it's shared with us through some kind of online application where we're just seeing like a screen share or a mirror from the director's screen. So I mean, a lot of times, even if I wanted to look at the script ahead of time, we're not given that luxury. So and that's why I always tell people who want to be voice actors that taking improv classes is really helpful and important because we have to do so much of what we do more or less cold. So.
Yeah, the line for the script may be written too long or too short, and we might have to come up with an alternate version that's still true to that original translation.
I want to know who is Zip Q and why do they have so many reserved seats?
Here's a sit queue. That's it, where people can reserve some seats. They can sit there in the front. So these are the fans who reserve the seats for you guys.
Oh, it's queue, it's in like a queue, like a line.
Yeah, queue.
Sounds very London.
Excellent.
Right, sit queue.
Fast queue.
Excellent.
Meow.
All right, next question. And what's your name?
Hey, I'm Megan.
Hello, Megan.
Hey.
Hey.
So when I started watching My Hero Academia, I watched in sub. So I wasn't sure like who all the dub actors were or whatever. I started watching with my sister in dub, and I was wondering, I'm assuming you guys watch anime in your free time?
No.
Yeah? No?
We don't have any free time.
You don't watch?
I guess I try and watch what I'm in, but I don't always have a lot of time to watch stuff that I'm not in. Because like they're saying, it's like we get so busy with doing this. That's what I say is one of the only like drawbacks to what we do, is that the more that you do this for a living, the less time you have to consume it for purely pleasure.
Yeah, typically the most we see is the parts that we dub. Because they don't show us the whole episode. Time is money. So we focus in the session on just recording our parts. And then they move on with
We
it.
used to. I remember I used to take trips to Dallas and hang out for like 4 or 5 days and record all day long, and then at the end we'd review together and have a beer. And like if there was a hiccup or something, or like Mike, you like, you notice anything you didn't like? Like, you know that one cue.
That's rare.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anymore.
Okay, I guess I'll rephrase my question then. I just assumed that people who voice act dub would, you know,
We're fans
would be
of the
fans,
genre.
but there's always been like a whole like sub versus dub debate about like who watches sub, who watches dub.
There is?
No way.
Yeah, this is the first time. Okay, but I was just wondering if you guys had an opinion on that, because like I'm not sure if.
My opinion is that they're completely separate pieces of art. I mean, they're not the same thing, not remotely. Japanese does not translate directly culturally or language-wise to English. Like, it's just a fact. They're not based on the same system at all. And cultural references are not the same. Emotional references are not the same. Everything is
Humor is not the
different.
same either.
And to me, it's like having an argument like, which is better, only one can be better, vanilla or chocolate. It's like they're both delicious. Like, why does it have to be like, you can only eat one or only one of them is good? Like, I mean, they really, like, a lot of effort goes into both things. Like, dubbing is not an easy process. Like, you have to have the translation, and then you have the writers that have to take the translation and make it into something that, like,
something that works in
that
English.
makes sense, that both fits the flaps, but also doesn't sound weird,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, I remember like this specific scene where like they translated like a taiyaki into like a frozen dessert or something, and I'm like losing my mind, like why didn't they say taiyaki? So I understand like that whole translation.
I mean, because a lot of the audience won't even know what that is. You know what I mean? So they've got to make adjustments for the audience that's going to be consuming it. And the audience that's going to be consuming our work is in the Western part of the English-speaking world.
Has to fit the flaps too.
yeah.
Yes, and the Japanese don't care about that as much as we do. They also record together, and the animation is a secondary thing. They don't necessarily need it to fit perfectly, whereas our audience is used to growing up on Western cartoons and used to things looking like they're coming out of the mouth of the character. Like that's something uniquely ours in terms of the cultural ramifications. They're not the same thing at all. Like, yeah.
I always listen to some rice ball being called a jelly donut.
Yeah, it's like we're serving a purpose to make it to reach a mainstream audience.
Now that's just ridiculous, by the way. It's called a freaking rice ball. We all know what a rice ball is. But taiyaki, like, yeah, they might not know what that is. Is that what you said, taiyaki?
But like, I grew up watching subs. You know, I didn't start watching dubs until I was much older. But then I've also had people come up and say like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you dubbed this show because I'm dyslexic and I can't watch subs. Or I'm an artist and I watch anime while I'm working and I can't, like I listen to it. I couldn't take the time to read the subs.
Or they simply
So-
enjoy seeing the artwork play out and don't want to take the time to look down at the line of text at the bottom.
There's a lot of legitimate things in the world to get mad about. That's not one of them.
I mean, you can. If it makes you feel good to get pissed off about the fact that people do this in another language, Well, then I guess whatever it takes to make you happy. Don't watch the thing you don't like. I mean, I guess it's cool. You can complain about it online.
I promise I do not.
No. But there are people who do, and they seem to take great joy in it. And I'm like, for the most of us, we don't care.
And I find a lot of the people who are most vocal about that online, they're just trolls. And if it wasn't like subs versus dubs, they would find something else, like inflammatory to, be arguing about online.
The thing that you guys do, though, and I think that you have to realize, they're true actors. You guys, I think it's much more difficult because they can't see your facial reactions. You have to emote everything through your voice. And you guys are so good at it that you bring it to a wider audience so that other people can enjoy it and they can feel that. Because when you're watching that cartoon or the anime, we can hear the emotion you have in your voice, so we can identify with what's going on with that character. And that's a talent that very few people can do effectively. So it's impressive that you guys can do that.
Thank you.
I always refer to it.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys.
So go to our next question.
It's acting with only one of your weapons, basically, right? Like you're on stage or you're on screen, you got everything. You got your face, you got your eyes, you got everything at your disposal. When you're behind a mic, they can't see you. All you've got is your voice. Plus you've got these constraints. It's got to happen within this certain amount of time. It's got to fit these specific flaps. It's actually more difficult than when you have all your weapons.
Absolutely, I agree with that. What's your name?
Hello.
Hello, my name is Jerry. I was here in the 2019 Comic-Con. I'm also Kyle.
Excellent.
So, for my question, it's about, so I've watched the show, My Hero Academia, and I've watched Ochako and Deku, the way I've wondered about their friendship. And also, so in your character voices in Academia, how do you think Ochako will ever tell Deku how she feels?
I don't even know who that is.
She's Gravity Girl.
No, I still don't know who that is. That's okay, though.
Well, I certainly hope not.
I'm sure it will come eventually.
I believe a girl should always go after what she wants.
Is what midnight?
Who wants candy?
Kyle wins. And I want candy, so...
I want candy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, man. Take care.
Hey,
Nice shirt. Yeah, nice shirt. We like your shirt. The shirt's really cool.
Shirt's cool.
Yeah.
My name is Kara, and it's very nice to meet you all.
Is it Kara?
Kara.
Kara, it's nice to meet you.
So my question is, other than your character's quirk, what quirk would you want?
I don't know, compress really has an easy time packing, so, yeah. I travel a lot. Although, I imagine you lose things too, so...
Dude, teleportation would be great.
Teleportation would be cool.
No more traveling in cars, airports, any of that stuff.
Oh, time travel. Time travel would be cool too.
Dude, yes.
Yeah. You could really, really wreak some havoc. Or create bliss.
Yeah. Multiverse!
I want Twice's quirk without the,
Oh.
yeah, because, I can have one of me, like, working, one of me here, one of me at home, one of me just, like, hanging out with my dog, like, it'd be great.
Do you think that Twice is like a literal personification of ADHD?
Yeah, I do.
So ADHD is his quirk, but he manifests in physical form.
He was able to, separate it and make it useful.
I do too. I feel terrible because I'm like, is Colleen's character Yaoyorosa?
It's Momo.
So I've always been the kind of I like to kind of cheat and get everything in one. Like I love Skittles because you get all these different flavors in one. And that's what I feel like in some ways her quirk is. Because it's I know it's a quirk, but you can do so many things with it. So I would want that.
So I have a question here following this. There are two types of people in the world when it comes to Skittles. There's the one person that just eats one at a time to enjoy it. There's that person who just...
And then there are the heathens.
The heathens that mix them all together? All right, now we know. Okay, good.
Now, the thing is, I like the sour Skittles, so if you do that, it will literally burn a hole in your cheek.
Yes.
You put a handful of those in your mouth, oh, have fun. Have fun.
I feel like, does anybody here eat sweet tarts anymore?
Oh, I like the big soft ones.
I do too.
I like the original, like, hard, long rolls.
The sour
And
ones?
I feel like it's like a childhood rite of passage to, like, eat an entire one in one sitting and, like, deal with the sour burn on your tongue. Yeah, that's when you know you're a real kid.
That's when you've arrived. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Ronnie Coleman.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, who is, I guess, like, just, it's kind of similar to the other's question, but like all-time favorite show?
Like anime show?
Sure.
Of all time?
Not
With
just
a capital
anime, like all-time favorite show, period.
A and a capital T?
You did say all, I mean, you didn't even
I
qualify
didn't
that.
specify
Just
anything.
Oh,
It's
just
all-time
favorite
favorite
show
show.
of all
In
time.
general.
Oh my gosh.
That's hard.
Dude, that's yeah.
It's too difficult.
Oof. Man, I'd say currently Bob's Burgers. Love Bob's Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers. I also love Archer. I love H. John.
Forensic Files.
Yeah.
Although I'm running out of episodes, believe it or not.
Oh no. I think in the past 10 years, Breaking Bad was the perfect TV show. Ozark's great until the end.
I like The Wire too. The Wire was great.
I never saw The Wire.
You never saw The Wire?
Dude,
Dude, you gotta watch The Wire.
I'm so behind.
Just ring a bell, baby.
I also really loved Community. I miss that show a lot.
I like girls.
Ooh,
the
what they
show.
do, what we do in the shadows. What we do in the
Yes.
shadows. That's a good Yeah.
Love that.
I yelled at Guillermo in a bathroom. I hadn't met him yet. It was the end of the day. I was feeling pretty punchy, and he was making noise in the stall of the two-hole men's room, and I was like, "Shut up! You're not supposed to talk in the men's room."
You did not say that. You really
Yeah, I did say that.
Oh, wow.
And he came out and he started laughing, and I was like, "I said, shut up!" And he laughed even harder. Then he came out and I was like, "I'm so sorry. I get kind of punchy at the end of the day." And he's like, "No, it's cool." And it was Harvey who plays Guillermo, and I was really embarrassed. I'm like, "I'm a big fan. I'm sorry." He's like, "No, you're hilarious. It's cool. You can yell at me in the bathroom anytime you want."
Thank you.
Thanks for that question. You really made us think, my friend.
So, if you have to be recast in My Hero Academia and you get to choose your own characters, then who would you want to be?
Midnight.
No one else.
Yeah.
No one. She's mine.
No, I want to be Midnight too. Maybe Midnight has two voices and they happen at the same time.
They hit that right pitch.
It'd be really weird if she had a mental voice.
It would be a little strange, but no, I put my foot down. I say, no one else can be Fat Gum. That's
That's
mine.
it.
You have to pry her from my cold, dead hands.
Yes.
I know, I feel like I would really like my character too. I just wanted to have more screen time. I think there's just not enough Toga.
I agree.
Yeah, there's not
I
enough
agree.
Dobby either.
No,
Up with that.
well, you get the whole, you got a bigger arc than I did.
I've got
Like, you're still going, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still going,
Yeah.
but it hasn't happened yet. They better do it, man. I'm gonna burn something in the real world. Wait, no, stop recording. I didn't say that. I'm joking. I'm a joker.
Did you notice when you said stop recording, more phones came out immediately?
It always has the opposite effect.
And this is when Jesus Liebrecht cracked.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thanks, friend.
What's your name?
My name is Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne.
Who do you guys hate? Who do you guys hate My Hero Academia?
Who do we hate?
Aww. Cheyenne. It's not nice.
Like the character, right? Not the people behind the character. Because we can't tell you who we hate in the real world.
That was just
too long.
Let me get my list out.
Who do you hate?
I don't
hate anyone either.
I mean, sometimes I just want, like, Bakugo to take up meditation and, like,
Come on, he's a dick. And you
Yeah.
have the meta one, dude, at like sticky balls? That's your power? Come on.
I would say Bakugo.
What's that? What'd you say about midnight? Oh, okay, yeah. Mount Lady's good too. Mount Lady's, there's a lot of that to love.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna climb that mountain, lady.
You're
Hey.
not answering your question at all, are you? I think we kind of answered your question, Cheyenne, but I'm sorry that we can't be more definitive in who we hate.
I know, right? God, we'll try to be more hateful
If we
next
meet
time.
again, I'll have a better answer for the hate question.
This little angel comes up. Who do you hate? When did you When did you realize, when did you realize that you could start doing voices? Was it younger in life, at school, or is it something you developed later on in life? How did this come about?
I was a shy kid growing up in the 70s, so I took a cassette recorder and I would do like silly voices and fake commercials and stuff on my own. But I wouldn't really play them for my friends. That's just something I like to do because I was like very shy, very introverted. I love doing that, just watching Looney Tunes, cartoons, and then trying to emulate those and everything.
Actually, it's quite similar for me, but I did get involved in theater at a relatively young age, so it became less about the voices necessarily. I mean, that was always part of a character, but I did the commercial thing too. I made a ton of Folgers Crystals commercials.
Ooh.
We've replaced the coffee that they're drinking.
The best part of waking up.
Protein cup.
See, advertising works.
I can't hear the filters.
Let's see if they notice.
So not good.
Right, let's see if they notice.
This coffee's terrible!
What was the question?
I like being
I got
disappointed.
ADD, and you went coffee and went what?
Speaking of waking up.
Exactly. What?
When did you first kind of realize you could do
Okay, cool. Yeah, so theater. When did I start hearing voices? When I was very young. She's still with me. No, I did theater, and I actually did a lot of children's theater at the time, so that kind of required a lot of adults to play like multiple characters on stage, and one of the most effective ways to communicate that I'm now a different character to the people in the back is to change my voice. So that's kind of where I learned how to do that, I think, yeah.
Kid, I was pretty old when I figured it out. I've always wanted to be an actor, but I was always very focused on like film and TV and on camera stuff. Like I just didn't even though I grew up playing video games and watching anime, I didn't really think of voiceover as something that I could do. And it wasn't until I kind of had some friends point it out to me, where they were like, you got all these skill sets that might actually be good for that profession. And I was like, oh, I do. Oh, that's right. Maybe this would be a good thing to check out. And then it worked out, thankfully.
Excellent. All right.
Hi there. My name is Walter, and what's your favorite Disney movie?
Favorite Disney movie? Emperor's New Groove.
Many 2000s films of Disney are very underrated. Only Lilo and Stitch and Princess and the Frog get the attention in the theme parks.
Yzma is my favorite villain, and I love Patrick Warburton.
Emperor's New Groove is so underrated, you're right.
Any 2000s film.
It's almost too funny.
Yeah.
It's almost too funny. You watch it and repeat, you pick up all those new lines. You know your wife crochets? What she
Is this my voice? Is this my voice?
Is David Spade
Is
in
my
there?
voice?
Yeah, he's the
David
Emperor.
Spade is in there. I've never seen it. Maybe I should see it. I don't think that I'm qualified to answer this question.
There's too many good ones.
I don't know what else a Disney movie, man. Disney is everything now, right?
They technically are.
Yep.
So you could answer Star Wars.
Deadpool.
Or Marvel.
Marvel comic.
You could answer-
Marvel.
Yeah, in that case, Star Wars, A New Hope, yes.
I have a soft spot for Beauty and the Beast because I just loved Belle when I was little. She was my girl.
One of the
She's
best
different and
princesses
weird.
ever.
There goes a baker with his tray like always.
One of the best.
She's like, I'm just trying to read. I don't care.
Best French fairy tale
The Rescuers were pretty cool.
I thought about that.
Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. I never saw 4, did not see Lightyear.
Wait, is that Disney?
Disney? Well, it was Pixar at first, but then Disney bought Pixar.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Next question. Making us think. Look at us.
Hey guys.
Hello!
Hello.
You have a nice way about you.
Oh, well, thank you. My name is Brianna Yeager.
Did you say Jaeger?
Yeah, my last name is actually Yeager.
Wow.
Nice.
Just saying. And it's spelled right. So.
Jaeger?
Jaeger. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's
Yep.
spelled right. Oh, you white
Real
people out there?
blood.
Yeah.
Well,
That must have been fun growing up, having people try and pronounce that.
Oh, yeah. The only time that I actually liked my last name was when I moved here. And I said Jaeger in front of my high school class, and they're like, Jaeger? Like Attack on Titan? Yeah, I was like, I don't know what that is, but okay. A little bit late bloomer. Anyway, sorry. So my question is actually for aspiring voice actors. What are your tips for like people who want to get into this industry and like be successful, obviously? What would you recommend, or what was something successful that you did, I guess?
First and foremost, the thing about voice acting is you got to underline the word actor. It's not about doing voices, it's about building a performance. So I would say, especially in this day and age where you can just Google and find voice acting specific coaches, work on that. Take those classes on Skype, Zoom, or in person or whatever. You can get LA or New York, any major city coach will hop with you online and hopefully will help you hone your skills and find what you're really good at. Because every voice actor kind of has their signature sound.
Right.
So you work on your skills first, and then after that comes the demo phase to work on the demo, and then once the demo's done, circulate that, network, get it out in casting directors, talent agents' hands, and all that. But again, the thing to focus on when you're starting out, become a good actor, first and foremost.
That is very good.
he's right. It's acting with only one of your weapons. So honing the entire skill set so you can truthfully and naturally communicate in an honest way without all of these helpers that your body and your eyes and I don't know, it's challenging for certain, but a good way to get past that is honing that skill set, the entire skill set, in my opinion. I know not everybody did it that way, but I feel much more equipped to deal with something, especially a natural emotional moment behind the mic, because I've gone through all this other stuff, all this other training, and also my personal trauma. Personal trauma helps a lot.
You get a great sense of humor from trauma.
Acting is therapy.
To kind of piggyback a little bit on what Kyle said, I know as actors, a lot of times we want to be everything to everyone. Like we want to show off like our entire range all at once. But I think that when you're first starting out, like kind of figuring out what makes you unique, like what is the one thing that you do really well and that you can easily be known for and easily be cast as, and kind of focusing on that is a way to kind of follow the path of least resistance and get a little farther a little quicker.
Okay.
And then I also always encourage people, like, don't give up, because I think it's really easy to send out a handful of auditions and not hear anything back or hear a no and get discouraged and kind of be like, oh, I must not be any good, like I'm not going to do this anymore. And a lot of this job is a numbers game, like we submit, hundreds of auditions.
All of us are rejected on a daily basis if we're lucky. I mean, honestly, I mean it.
Yeah.
Even 22 years in, even 20 years in.
Resume doesn't matter.
Yeah, not at all. Like you gotta
That's great coming from you guys.
thicken that skin, and like you audition 100 times, you book 2 of those jobs, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Well, and like when I was first starting out, I emailed Funimation every month for 8 months before I got my first audition.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, there's ways to be polite about it and, kind of be like, oh, hey, look, I booked this role or I added this new skill set. Like, here's my demo reel again, but still love to work with you guys, like, whenever the chance may arise. So I call it polite persistence, but you gotta be persistent. If I'd given up on month 2, I might not be here. So.
It's true. That's really cool. Awesome. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I think that's impressive. You're saying you did that for 8 months just to get into the audition.
Yeah, for my first audition, which was Attack on Titan. Jaeger.
Anyone? Jaeger?
Hello.
Bring it all around.
Hello, sir. How are you?
What's your name?
Hi,
Mr. Potter.
I am Adam. And
Hi, Adam.
Hello,
I
Adam.
have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Cool.
One, what's your favorite episode of My Hero Academia? What's your favorite episode?
What's your favorite
Cool.
My favorite episode is when Midnight got to step in for Aizawa as teacher and help the kids choose their hero names. I don't remember the episode number,
That's fun.
but yeah, that was my favorite.
Did you at some point know the episode number?
Nah.
Just check.
I liked the episode where Toga meets Curious. Curious. Terrasance. Blue hair. It's great. Super fun.
I think my favorite episode has not yet occurred.
That's about to.
Better be.
I'm biased because I've only really seen the stuff I'm in, but Fat Gum's big fight scene when he becomes Fit Gum. You know, it's pretty epic.
That's fun.
Yeah.
He becomes Fit Gum?
Yeah, he goes from big and squishy to little but buff.
Does he get beat up and become swollen gum?
Swole. Yeah, big swole.
Or maybe he gets on the roids a little bit.
Roid
Swole gum.
Yes, swole gum.
Now, did you change your voice when you got fit for
Nope.
Fit Gum? No?
I'm in a little gruffer, a little, just put a little cigarette smoking in there. I don't smoke, but, yeah, make him sound a little more rage-filled. That's the only difference. Same voice, though. That was cool.
What's your second question, Adam?
The second question is, what quirk would you think would actually be possible in the real world?
Oh, what quirk would be possible in the world?
Not in the manifestation physically, but Twice's kind of exists.
Oh yeah, like kind of cloning.
Well, no, I mean the ADHD thing. Like,
Oh, ADHD.
Like, you ever watch Side of Bird, or like somebody who's really good at it? It's
Yes.
like it seems like a superpower. It's like how do you what? It's like I can't concentrate on one thing, dude. I gotta concentrate on 20.
Oh really?
Okay.
That's how he does that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I have to do one thing, another one.
I don't know I mean, kind of like yours in a way, like energy vampires, you know?
Oh right, so
Yeah.
Golden Robinson.
Golden Rule.
Oh, that was so crazy with that.
We can talk for hours about that.
Yeah, I can't think of any others. Thank you, Adam.
But thank you. You've given us a lot to think about.
Have you have the rest of your day a nice day?
Oh,
Thank you, Adam. You too. Take care.
All right. This looks like this is going to be our last question, right here, our last question.
All right.
My name's Anthony, and I was actually wondering what you guys' favorite genre of music.
A favorite genre of music? I don't know that I do have a favorite genre of music. I like a lot of different kinds of music.
Well, what are a couple of your favorite bands or musical artists?
Oh, wow. Well, they really run the gamut. I mean, when I was younger, my favorite band was the Butthole Surfers. And recently I've been getting into weird experimental modern classical. And then also swinging back into the 80s a little bit. I've been obsessed with that song that Buffalo Bill dances to in Silence of the Lambs recently, and just been playing that first and seeing what randomly pops up after that. And weird stuff pops up after that, I guess,
I do that song at any party I go to. I perform that song.
Oh, wow. Really? Oh, wow. Well, that's awesome. Goodbye, horses. Very cool.
I'm mostly a hard rock, heavy metal guy myself.
I like that too. How many times have you seen Maiden?
Only once.
Really?
Power Slave Tour, 85.
Oh, wow, dude. I'm jealous.
I'm old.
I've seen them thrice, but I didn't see Power Slave. I heard that was a great stage show.
Lamb of God, Tool, yeah, they're me.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I feel like mine kind of ranges across the board too. Longtime favorite band of mine was Smashing Pumpkins. I've seen Nine Inch Nails in concert more than any other musical artist, but I also love Bon Iver. So, a little bit of everything, I guess.
Scenes, whatever sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, a little Lizzo happening.
Movie soundtracks, those are
Movie
fun.
soundtracks are great.
Oh yeah, those are
Makes you
fun.
feel like you're in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I poured that glass of milk so epically.
Like Junkie XL, Mad Max Fury Road, that score is so epic. That movie's so epic that I see the movie and I hear the music like, oh.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
give a huge. This is like, just be sure, this is something to do with the very first comic convention I've ever been to.
We are honored.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Yes, guys. One more time, give a huge round of applause. Thank you so much, guys.
If you guys have questions you didn't get to ask, I think we're going on a quick lunch break, right now, but come see us at our booth and we'll be happy to answer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You guys can go to their booths, they'll talk to them, they'll do some autographs for you and say hi. So you have a chance to go see them at their booths. Thank you guys.